Good morning. I'm outside in our carport this morning because I want to give you some tips on how to bring things inside the house so that your house will not be contaminated. Now, before I do that, I want to say this. The results yesterday has been overwhelming about our social distancer. And if you've ordered one of these, the plans for these, then the plans are going to be in the mail. You should get them by next week. But a number of people said that they, really weren't good do-it-yourselfers, and so they wanted to know if these were available. So I decided I'm going to make these, and I've got a variety of colors of duct tape. So you just tell me what color that you want, and I can make it for you. You might want to get several, one for every outfit that you have. They also make great gifts. But I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell them, and I'm going to give all of the money to the church building fund. So you can buy one of these if you want to. 3 easy payments, $19.95 per month, no tax because we're tax exempt. So anyway, if you want one of these, it's a great thing. And I tell you, there's so many uses for it. You'll see that in just a minute. So anyway, I've been doing some research about what you do whenever things are brought to your house and how you bring those inside. A lot of information out there, so I've kind of condensed it down into maybe half a dozen things that I want to share with you. So I'm going to show you what we've got here. Maybe you have been ordering some toilet paper from Amazon, or you've got a pizza from Mr. Gatti's, or you've gone to the grocery store and you got your trunk full of groceries and you brought it in and you put it there by the door like we have. So what are the steps that you do? Well, here's the first one. If it is delivered, you tell the delivery person not to bring it to the door. In fact, this would be a good time for them to have a social distancer, because you can get these also with a little point on the end. And you can reach right up, ring the doorbell, 6 feet away, perfect. No germs are passed. Number 2, you're going to need your mask and you're going to need your gloves for this. You're also going to need your social distancer because it can do a variety of things. It can even pick up some of these bags and move them across the carport or the garage, move them out of the way. You don't even have to get close to them or touch them at all. Now, one thing that you do is you need to spray the bags. But let me say before this, the bags need to stay outside. The boxes need to stay outside for 3 days before you bring them in. That's how long it takes for the virus to die. Now, I will say that after 3 days, the milk on the cereal doesn't taste really good, but it makes wonderful biscuits. So there's always a bright spot in there somewhere. So anyway, first thing you need to do is you need to spray the contents or the bags that are outside. And then when you take things out, you need to wipe them all the way around, upside down, everywhere that you can. You need to wipe it off, and then you can bring it inside. Whatever you do not bring cardboard or plastic into the house. That is a no-no. If you have some acid, go into the backyard, pour it on there, and watch it dissolve. If you don't have any, stick it in the garbage can the night before they come and pick it up. Just don't tell anybody. Whatever you do, don't bring it into the house. Now, this may seem a little intense for you, but this is our new mantra. Nothing unclean comes into our house. Nothing unclean comes into our house. Now, back in Jesus' day, the religious leaders, or some of the religious leaders, took that to a whole new level. They had over 600 laws that they followed religiously, I will say, in order to be clean. In fact, they had a social distancer of themselves, and for themselves, and that they used it to keep people away. People like who had leprosy, or maybe tax collectors, people they thought were sinners. Sometimes women, sometimes Gentiles, sometimes Samaritans. Sometimes it was people who maybe had a bleeding disorder or something. But they used this to keep them away because they were afraid that they might be infected. They were so concerned about getting that kind of infection from somebody else that they missed the real virus. And Jesus called them out on it too. In Matthew chapter 23, he said, you all are like a cup that has been cleaned and washed on the outside, but on the inside it is filled with just hypocrisy and greed and hatred. He said, you all are like a bunch of whitewashed tombs. On the outside they look beautiful. They have been painted and they look great. But on the inside, it's nothing but just bones that are decaying and rotting away. And what had happened is they had missed the whole thing. because their focus was in the wrong place. They had gone to a lot of trouble to keep the virus out, but it was the wrong virus. And instead, they had been infected with one that was even worse. Bigotry, self-centeredness, self-righteousness, closed-mindedness, greed. That list goes on and on and on. But the good news is there is a vaccination for those kinds of viruses. It's called the love of Jesus Christ. And it's available to you today. So that what's on the inside and what's on the outside will always match and always be pure. Well, that's all for today. I've got to finish. I got a lot of work to get all of these things done. I'll see you tomorrow.